gentlemen, we're going to keep going so we can get this ended on time. Just real quick overview. After we get started with staff awards, I'm going to talk about our one-to-one update. I got some information just today, as a matter of fact, that and then John and Katie have some stuff they're going to share with us, and then we are going to get into our gradebook training.
That way that makes sense to you. Very quickly, as you came in, I asked you if you would make a specific positive compliment to a child in this school. If I didn't get you, I've got Post-it notes. I'll come around for those of you. Please put them at some point up here on this poster. The mindfulness group wants to hang this outside of Judy's office and make this something we're sharing with students. So that's what those are for. Changing over to staff awards. Yay! I have a new award that I hope will get passed around after this month. So this is the Covington Cheer Award. In all fairness, I was never a cheerleader. I was in theater, so I probably played a cheerleader in improvisational games many times. So I apologize for whatever I said during those times. It was stereotypical and unfair. But seriously unfair. That said, I'm working on these things. So what this award is for something that really cool that happened the other day when I got to go to a volleyball game and supervise and have the fun of kicking the same kids off the same bleacher multiple times and saying, hey, you got to go home and watch the game and all this stuff. But in between doing that, there was a really cool staff movement that happened. And I got to capture this movement on video. It was on Twitter. Lots of people saw that, loved it, shared about that, and were really impressed with what happened. And that's the little stuff that makes a difference to kids. When they see the people that care for them and spend time with them, cheering them on, coming up with something cool, and just being there for them when they don't have to be, when they want to be. So this is the Covington Cheer Award that this month goes to Josh for inventing the cold cheer. So I'm hoping with a little bit of peer pressure. Oh my God. Just a little bit of peer pressure. That you would lead us and teach us really quick the cold cheer, because you are the benefactor. And here are the pom-poms. And so here you go, Josh.
All right. We're big, B-I-G.
We're big, B-I-G.
And we're bad, B-A-D.
And we're bad, B-A-D.
And we're boss, B-O-S-S, B-O-S-S, boss.
So we have this staff cheerleader for this month, and I hope that Josh, in time for January, will have a chance to identify the next cold cheerleader on staff. So thank you, Josh. That was awesome to see. Now to Rob.
All right, so, by the way, the next BAT Awards, which name I'm not going to say out loud because the sheriff is here today, I'm going to send out a survey asking for responses for that for next time. But if you may remember, about 2 months ago when we started this, I asked for some feedback. I said, what's the best piece of advice you ever got? And I got a lot of really good suggestions, like forming relationships with kids and getting to know them individually. And it's such an honor to know that so many people in this building consider that a part of their teaching. However, there were several people that really, really stood out. Oscar Wilde once said, the only thing good to do with advice is pass it on. And these people have passed on to me some advice that I feel you need to know. Ben Franklin said, without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. And these three people have given me advice that has inspired me to improve, achieve, and have success. So the first recipient of today's BAT Award is Aaron Plummer. Is Aaron here? Aaron's words of advice. Please take a moment to meditate and think upon the profundity of these. Don't unlock your door with your keys around your neck. As you go to unlock your door, your face next to the lock, a kid will inevitably kick the door open from the other side. Aaron, thank you so much. Come on up here, take a word. Really, really appreciate that. And while he's coming up and enjoying this long walk of virtue and achievement, there was a second piece of it. But I have a new pair You've been a hero of mine. I now have a new hero in the building though. Thank you, Mayor. Charlie. Charlie, I mean, when I read these words, I knew there was a master teacher in the building. If you're ever in a pinch, fake like you're having a heart attack. Charlie, thank you. Come on up here, Charlie. We've all had those days, and teaching 8th grade, I hope your health survives. Thank you. And then there's one more. This one really was the pinnacle that I know as the holiday season is approaching, please, Julie Hannon, where are you? Is she in here? Julie. Julie's words of wisdom are these. Short but sweet. Julie, thank you so much for those precious words of wisdom. All right, where are we moving on? I'll send a survey out, by the way, with the next suggestion.
Does anybody have any other pieces of recognition they would like to do? All right, we have a guest with us and he needs to address a couple people.
I apologize for doing this. I don't come here very often because you guys run such a tight ship, and I have 8 other schools I have to service, believe it or not.
I don't know if they know who you are.
Deputy Greg McCarthy. I'm in the Sheriff's Office. I'm the school resource officer for Heritage Covington Pacific Middle School, where I spend way more time than here, by the way, and 6 elementary schools that feed into Heritage. And so I told Sharp that this was probably something that I needed to handle as quickly as possible. And it's unusual to do these sorts of things in front of a big group, so I apologize. But I need to speak to a Margaret Milam. Is that Margaret? Can you stand up here, please? You can say no. Okay. Okay. So the reporting party reported to me that besides being an amazing teacher, and I'm reading, that you also work with outside agencies to help meet the needs of the kids here at Covington. And gave an example that during the open house in September, where you organized a community resource fair for all the families here so that the numerous agencies that could help the underprivileged families here would be able to. No, don't. Okay. And said this is just one of the examples that of the kind of things that you do here at Covington. As witnesses, is this accurate? Is this information accurate? That's what I was seeing. Keep your hands where I can see them. Okay. Is Lynn Samuels here? I don't know why you're laughing. You have no idea what's going on. Okay. All right. So Lynn, the reporting party reported to me that in addition to organizing the Family Resource Center, that you work with homeless families, attend monthly face-to-face coffees to network and find resources for the kids here at Covington. Generally go above and beyond to get our families connected what they need to have their kids be successful here in school. You find clothes, food, professional training for parents, housing information, and a host of other resources. Is this accurate?
Yes.
Okay, you can stand up now. Okay, so then the power invested in me by the state of Washington and the Clark County Sheriff's Office, I am both citing you as being guilty of kindness. Extraordinarily guilty. I'll explain. So the Sheriff's Office has partnered as the first law enforcement agency in the country, we think in the world, with an organization called Life Vest Inside. I welcome you to go and search it. Not when Sharp's talking, but you know, when it's somebody more. Life Vest Inside's actually an organization founded by a middle school teacher in Brooklyn, New York, trying to inspire kindness throughout the world. Okay, so she actually left teaching and actually started this organization. They got connected here in Vancouver through a teacher at McLaughlin Middle School. That teacher goes to church with our sheriff, and the next thing you know, we are giving kindness citations. These are amongst the first 10 ever given out, and yes, I've given out more than anybody else, okay? So if you look on the back, what's cool about the kindness citations is that if you go to inspiringkindness.org and you put in that little computer code, okay? Donation will be made for you to Santa's Posse, which is the Sheriff's Office charity that provides toys and food for underprivileged families during the Christmas season. Okay, so it's actually, the donation is already there. All you have to do is put in the code and show that you've committed an act of kindness. And there's actually a link where you can pay that forward and nominate somebody else. Okay, so just so you know, the reporting party also reported to me so that you're all aware. The reporting party said, we have many amazing people here at Covington. I could list all of our teachers and counselors and administrators and support staff. I'm lucky to be where I am. So, you're warned. I may be back.
You know, and the reality is that with any of these awards that we do, it could be any single person in here. We have just an incredible group of people that I'm extremely grateful. Okay, moving on to another thing, one-to-one update. Just sort of keep you in the loop. I got some information today accidentally, which I thought that was very timely. We have around 20 kids who haven't signed forms, and I'm actually just calling all the families and seeing what's going on. Some of them are bilingual kids, so I'm going to enlist some help to make some of those calls, but there aren't very many. And we will have a list, a chunk of kids, I would guess under 20 probably total in the building that will be day users. We're going to refine that process and figure it out. Denise and Michelle have been really amazing helping get this whole process going. And we're really sort of figuring it out as we go, as everybody is in the district. But most of them are out. Hopefully, I know it's frustrating because we end up having some glitches and it brings a brand new set of issues to deal with you know, kids being off task and doing different things. But in the end, we know it's really going to be a powerful thing for kids, and it's just a learning curve. They're going to come and take our devices, the leftover devices, next Wednesday. Now, what I was told, so I met with, his name's Robin Rich, he's the new, I don't even know what his title is, but he's coordinating everything. He said by Friday of next week, we will have a cart in the building of devices that we will have as stand-in devices, essentially. So the new Chromebooks that we have, we'll always have about 10 on hand that will be for students who are new to the building, because we get kids in and out constantly. So when new students arrive, once they get their forms signed, they will be issued a device. The cart of devices we will have as spares are going to be the Dell devices. He said Dell devices, I don't know exactly which ones he's talking about, but we'll have a cart of devices for the ones that break down, or kids lose them, or they break them, or whatever the issue might be, because we want to get them a device out as soon as we can. It won't be the same Chromebook. We're going to keep those Chromebooks for the kids who are new to us. And also which was, I'm extremely grateful to the district because they've made it a priority to get our paras devices. Yeah. So with that cart, about this whole process, I know it's kind of a...
This isn't a student device question, but they put out a survey about teacher devices.
Right.
I'm under the impression that they're going to take our surfaces. They are.
Well, yeah, because the lease is going to expire, I think, at the end of this year. And I think the plan is, and don't totally quote me because I could be mistaken as often, but we're going to go to a process where we each have a PC and a Chromebook.
Oh,
So we'll have both of those things for all staff.
So, Sharp, are you saying we'll have like something like a Surface, and we'll have our PC, and we won't have to disconnect them every time we
Right, it's going to be a Chromebook,
Yes!
I believe. I think the same Chromebook kids have, as well as a PC in our classrooms. Yeah.
So, just to clarify, so we're gonna have to back up everything that's on these
No.
before they take them?
No, I don't know.
It's on your
desktop.
If it's on your desktop, it's in the district network, so it's not on the device itself.
Marie,
Do you have anything to say
we'll
with the
talk
computer
tomorrow.
itself? Yes, you'll have to put that in
All right.
some portable ability, so you can then take it and put it on the desktop.
So, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about as next year approaches, so for the remainder of this year, I believe we'll keep these things.
Well,
School.
this year is,
School.
I'm
school year. I think of everything as the year ends in June. My timeline is not the same as typical. All right, Mr. Mashik, you are next.
All right, here we go. So I am in charge of Snap and Read, so at least giving out information about it. So we all use text in our classroom, and we all have a lot of kids that can't access all of the text that we have in the classroom. So this is one tool that all the kids have access to, so we'll kind of run through it. This is a picture of a student using it in the classroom. So it's a Chrome extension. So it does text-to-speech is one of the functionalities, and there are a couple other that we'll get to. And it's a gen ed tool in that the district has enough licenses for all kids to access it. So any kid, any staff member can access it through their evergreen Google account. So to get to it, I always just, in my Google window, type in Chrome Store. And then I can go out and then search up Snap and Read. So Snap ampersand Read is their official. I sent you a Word doc that has all these directions flowing in it, so you can follow that later. You can follow along now if you want to multitask. So just put it in Google, get to the Chrome Store, and then there'll be a download it now or add extension button to go through. The only thing I don't love about the program is it takes a moment to start. On your initial install, it goes and it kind of sits there, and you're like, did it work? It didn't work. It couldn't have worked. There's no way it could have worked, and by that time you were about to give up, it's worked. So once it loads, it adds a little icon to the top bar of your window, so it looks like a sniper rifle. I don't know why they chose this, but it's that one that all the arrows are pointing to there. That's Snap and Read. So that's its home. That's how you access it. It lives right up there under where you would close your Chrome browser. All right, so to start it, all you do is, once it's there, you would click on it. It'll pull up, at least the first time, it'll pull up a pop-up window where you have to log in with your Google account. So you just click on your Google account, and you have to type in your password, depending on all that. And then it becomes active. Once it's active, when you click on it, it'll turn blue. Okay, so if it's not present, if it's not activated, currently working with text, it's gray. If it's going to do something with text, it turns blue, and then this sidebar appears. So this great set of tools appears on the side, and the first one is the speaker icon. It is the easiest to use. If you have something that is very texty, it's the best one to use. I don't know if I have any sound availability here, but all you would do is activate it. I hit my speaker icon. I want to start reading the Christmas Carol right here. Marley was dead. And I just click on it, and it's reading. There's no sound. I don't know how to do that. So it's anticlimactic at the point. But that's how you do it. So the green word is what it's reading aloud. All right, so that's tool number one. Tool number two, this second one that's like a box with a little plus sign, it does the same kind of thing. It works really well in less true text documents. So in our classroom, we were going through some PDFs this last week, and it won't load. Okay, so it was going through, we were doing some PDFs. It was the original document, if I go back to here. And on the screen here, it was this text that was spattered all over the place. It wasn't just a true all-text document. What he could do is he could highlight different regions of the screen with this second tool, and it will decode the text just within that region, and then be able to spout out. So math people in iReady, this is how we can text-to-speech iReady tests, okay? Reading people, it also does text-to-speech and reading tests, so we don't want to do that, but that's a different hurdle.
Yeah, we'll all be in agreement.
But it's super quick. Once you know how to do it, it's hard to click and drag regions for some kids. They have to learn how to mouse. But other than that, they can do it. All right, third tool. This tool's crazy. I just learned about this one this week. This third tool right here that kind of goes square to a circle can adjust text complexity. It's insane. I don't understand this, how it does this. I I'm going to zoom a little bit, and I can't see very well. I'm going to hit this third tool, and I'm going to go for the preface here of Christmas Carol. It has now changed some words from some difficulties to some lesser difficulty. I don't know exactly how to manipulate all of that, but like the word tried has been replaced. It started out with endeavored. So the italic words are the new words, which it used to be shall in the original, it replaced it to will. So I don't know true functionality of how we can use this in our classroom, but it's a tool that's available we can play with. And that's this third tool. The fourth tool I really don't know how to use effectively, but it can translate. So it can do Google Translate kind of things. So if we want to learn about ratios, but we speak a different language, we can highlight a text, hit this, it's going to translate into a language that we select. Okay? So we can choose your options in here. You can choose, it was choosing Spanish, but you can choose a host of other languages, assuming you're literate in that language. So again, I don't know the functionality of that. There might be certain students it's good for certain situations. But since I was showing off the tool, I thought I'd show all that. All right. So that's Snap to Read. Yeah, to
Couple questions. So one, the one that adjusted the text complexity, it does it for like the whole region you select. We get to select the words. It selects the words.
It selects the words. So how I have to, it has to be pretty texty. It can't be like a PDF. It has to be like either HTML or a doc or a Google Doc or something. I think you just click on the text on the document, and it starts flowing its suggestions changes.
And we don't suggest any level. It just kind of does it to make
Well, there are some. So if you go here into the options of the tool itself, you can adjust text complexity here. So I haven't played with this exactly, but I think you could make it even lower or a little bit less adjustment.
And also, is this only like web-based stuff, or is this like anything that we push out via Google Classroom? Can they use
Yeah,
those?
so this is a Chrome extension, Chrome browser
Anything that's on
extension.
the computer.
Anything that's within the Chrome browser world, which is a lot of stuff. Yeah, anything else? Yeah.
Is anybody can use it, just not special ed?
Anybody, it's general education license, all students in the district have.
Except for testing.
Right.
Well, yeah, that's about, yeah, except for in-class testing when we would need it for accommodations, we can make it available.
And can you turn it off? Like,
Can,
so if they are taking an assessment, is this something that teachers can turn off? Does this show up on Hapara? How will we know?
I've seen the login screen flash on my Hapara screen. I think it's more one of those watching actual kids kind of thing. So it's a thing. Or in Hapara, if that's something, there is also the ability to lock tabs in Hapara. So,
Can you lock extensions?
well, I mean, but you can lock down to specific domains. It's like you can only use iReady or ClassLink to iReady, boom. And that's all they have access to on the internet. So that's a Hapara question. But that capability exists for a testing situation.
So when students log into Snap and Read, it actually takes them to a website that if Hapara is blocking that website, it won't let them into Snap and Read? Is that what we're concluding?
I'm hypothesizing that
Okay.
to log in.
We'll have to mess with it.
Right. I don't know that for a fact.